A lot of stuff happened on the first day I recorded VRChat, so much in fact that if you actually looked at all the little seconds of it, you would see that videos had been set up for like the next year in things that would happen, people that I met, and worlds that I went to. In my very first video, it's a very small moment, so you may not have noticed this, but Ritchie 3, who a lot of my older viewers will remember as the person that used to scare the shit out of me, that is when I met Ritchie 3. Ritchie walks in with one of his friends and walks up to our group, and somehow I end up head patting Ritchie. This was actually also the first time I saw a Neptunia character, because Ritchie was playing as Plutia, and I had never played Neptunia or even heard of it. Walks in, walks up to me, gives me a head pat, and I believe that's mostly my entire encounter with him for the day. Little just back and forth. He was very friendly, not scary, not teasy like he ended up being. VR people make a habit of waving, oh, there's a boot.
Yeah, I'm in a boot. I'm the poor guy. I'm still going to school, so I can't afford one.
I also met Mad Flav, and we talked about gravy and KFC while he was dressed up as Colonel Sanders. This led to literally dozens of videos of him trying to give me gravy, make me buy gravy, and it was just a giant meme for like almost the entire next year of me and gravy, and KFC gotta have the gravy, or oh no, someone said gravy, fucking PTSD.
Hi, welcome to KFC. How can I help you?
Can I get a box of strips?
Yes. Okay. And is that it?
And with the biscuits and a large Sprite.
Okay. You want gravy with those biscuits?
No.
Why not? What's wrong with the gravy? You don't like our
I
gravy?
want your gravy.
What's wrong with my gravy?
I like them plain.
No, you must get the gravy.
No, you're right. You want to give me the gravy? Give me the gravy.
I'll give you the gravy if you want the gravy.
Oh yeah, give me the gravy.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Are you talking about mashed potatoes?
Oh, we're talking about the biscuits.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Sorry. Enjoy. Enjoy. No, he wants the gravy.
That guy was there. These people have been.
I mean, I'll take the gravy,
Jacoby.
but I still
Well, you have to
prefer
pay
it
for the
plain.
gravy.
No,
but
Well, I don't want to pay for the gravy.
Well, you have
I
to
don't
pay
want
for
gravy to begin with. I just want the art. Then don't even give me the biscuits. Just give me the strips.
No, you have to get the biscuits. You wanted the biscuits already.
Now I don't want them. Just give me the
I
strips.
have a perfect
I don't care.
compromise for you guys. Perfect compromise. You get the strips and you dip them in the gravy.
Yes, there you go.
Why do you want to give me gravy so badly? This was the day that I also first learned how to play pattycake. Oh, I've never done this before. Wait, so clap.
Right?
Yeah.
Clap.
Right, left, and then.
My hands down
Okay.
here.
Oh. Right?
Why can't I just pull it up?
Oh.
Awesome. The Vive taught me, and you could see it in the first video, and the funniest thing about this is I don't do it again for so long that I end up forgetting, and someone else later on, I think Poog, has to reteach me how to play pattycake. Like, I'm talking like a year and a half into the future, whenever the hell, like past meeting Poog. It's on this day that Generic Fox, the Butterman, and Stutz, the people that I had talked to on my very actual first day of VRChat, showed back up, and I got to talk to them some more, hang out with them some more, and it led to Butterman's actions with Grizzly, who has shown up in a somewhat more recent video. By more recent, I mean like several months ago, leading me to make a video called Just the Tip. That was the first totally... trying to think of how to word this. That was the first arguably clickbait but not inaccurate title that I ever made. Just the Tip. And it's all because of Butterman and Grizzly. this set the precedent for all my current VRChat titles and everything to follow. But of course, the fact that people ended up getting looted as shit definitely helped with that. What is it? Oh my god, what is that?
It's a
Don't do
police
that. That's horrifying.
baton. It's an
Stop it.
unfolding police baton.
Stop. Oh my god, stop it.
No, I can put it away.
Take your stick out. Let's see your stick.
Yeah, wave it around. But not in my face.
What?
Not in. Stop it. Stop it.
Not in the face.
Not in my
Don't shove your
face.
stick in my face.
Yeah, no.
No. No.
I want nothing to do with that.
Hold on. Actually,
Stop.
I want to see that. Come closer with that. I want to see the tip of it.
Oh, you want to see the tip?
Just the tip. Oh,
Just, oh, yeah.
it looked weird. It looked weird.
It looked weird. You're an expert on this, right?
Yes, the tip looks weird. You should get that checked out.
What are you doing? Don't do that. What are you doing? I can only describe the very first couple days I spent in VRChat, the very first month or so, like when the population was still super low, there wasn't a lot of people to meet because it was just these limited people and there was no community surrounding VRChat. There was just VRChat itself. It's like, imagine you had a crush on someone in a school, like say you're in high school, and you know they go to your school, but you don't know them and they don't know you, but you've seen where they go in the hallway sometimes, you know they go to this class, but you don't know where they are for the rest of the day, and vice versa. You don't know if they like you. It's that uncertain feeling. It's that there's this place or like somewhere I kind of want to be, these people I want to be around. I don't know where they are. I don't know if I'm going to see them in an hour. I don't know if I'm going to see them today at all. I don't know if I'm going to see them tomorrow. I don't know if I've seen all I'm going to see of them. I don't know if they care enough to see me again. I don't know where we're at because we don't talk aside from hanging out in this crazy fucking world. And the experience of actually being in VR for the first while, that when you've been using VR as long as I have, it just becomes this annoying gimmick that you have to put on and is super uncomfortable. But for the first while you get it, it's super exciting, and I can only describe the feeling as you feel out of body and a lot smaller. Out of place is probably more accurate. You know you're in your room, and when you're putting your headset on for the first time, you're obscenely, just insanely aware of the fact that your feet are touching the ground, but you have a head cloud. Like your head is just completely clouded about this world you're in. Like your brain has no fucking idea where you are or what's happening. And one of the biggest perceptions you notice is everything suddenly looks larger. You feel really small, like a little person in a big world. And that's not because like all the anime avatar sizes are tiny. I mean, at the time, tiny people were really rare. Tiny people, the tiniest got as small as like my current Lolly character. This character was like much taller when I first made it. It was a good chunk taller, and even then it was small for the time. Originally, avatar sizes were like 5 feet. Some even went to 6 feet. Now you look at someone 6 feet, they're towering over everyone. But 5 feet seemed to be about the average. Now it seems like 3 feet's the average. But that's not why things were small. It wasn't because your avatar was small. It's just this, I don't know how to rationalize it, but it's just when you put on VR for the first time and you step into the worlds of at least VRChat. I didn't try any other VR games until I had been playing VRChat for a very long time and gotten used to this feeling, but stepping into the worlds into VRChat for the first time, everything seems so big, and that was such an incredible experience that It's like getting into a new game that takes your fucking life away, is how addictive it is and good it is for the first time. You never get that experience again until you get another game like that. You know, think back to that one game you played where you played it all day, every day for like a fucking year or several years or just months, but it felt like years. You know what I'm talking about? Like for me, like DayZ's a good example of that. That's the best way I can put it. But yeah, in this first day, I also encountered people like Turtle that I didn't mention in the last video, who was a big part of more like videos to come, but you know, we haven't seen him in forever. Everybody still called the Butterman Fox. He hadn't established his identity as the Butterman yet. That's a thing. I saw for the first time dancing animations. Now, at the time, it was super fucking weird. Nobody, like in the game or outside of the game, watching the game, knew that you could program an avatar that you were in to do things on its own, like emotes and dances. So we saw someone in the corner that was dancing, and we didn't know what the fuck to make of it. So I just posted a video of literally just this person dancing in a fucking corner. Completely copyright claimed, because all the fucking music's like Japanese, and let me tell you, Asian publishers are not nearly as nice about copyright as Western publishers are. Western publishers, they just want your money. Asian publishers, they don't want you to use anything they have at all. They will fucking strike you if you even try. I had to remove most of the songs that were danced to, but I was left with like 3. I decided to post it anyway. And it was so incredible at the time, and I couldn't tell, is that a real person dancing? Is it not? And today, that might seem like a silly fucking question because we've gotten completely used to it. But at the time, nobody fucking knew. I mean, at the time, this time in VRChat, there's a big difference between then and now is, you know the eye tracking I talked about in the last video? Like the reason I started this game? The eye tracking wasn't even a thing for most people. Like, it's just casually on my avatar, and it's been on my avatar for like ever. It's on most avatars. It's a standard now. But back then, nobody knew how to do that. Evolved Ant was a rare person. Evolved Ant was a big part in making up new things and getting into things first regarding avatars and animations and all that. There weren't many people that had avatars with eye tracking, even the people that were really good at it at the time. Hell, there wasn't anyone with custom avatars for the most part. Most people you saw running around were running around as Unity-chan or that one avatar that I told you I got from Al's Avatar Corridor. That was about it. Some people had custom ones. Most people just went with generic ones they could get out of a corridor or just pick from the list of now called legacy avatars. And just process this fact that back then the player base of VRChat was like, it was so incredibly small. There were several hundred people tops that played it, and only 100 at any one time. And the performance was insanely different. We were hanging out in Bar Zero, and sometimes it filled up to almost and including 64 people some nights. It filled up like crazy, and you'd think, oh, well, that would fucking lag you the fuck out. You go to a map today, and you get 40 people stuffed in there, and all of a sudden, everyone's crashing out every other fucking minute. No, we had like 60 plus people in there. The hardware wasn't nearly as good at the time, and with a 1070 and a 6700K, I was getting a solid 90 maxed FPS around 60 people. That's completely different to today. And today a lot of people argue, oh, well, that's because they raised poly limits and there's more effects, blah, 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 which is a load of bullshit because the lags that we know today started kicking in before any changes went into effect. They exist when no effects are being used at all, even when you turn off all kinds of shaders and effects in your safety menus. The performance of VRChat at that time was unreal. Avatars loaded in like a second. There was zero waiting time at all. And for months and months and months lately, like a year lately, with their new and improved avatar system, it hasn't been like that. And even with their fixed version of it now, it still takes a couple seconds. It's not instant anymore. There's a lot back there about VRChat that was better, and there was a lot that was worse. At the time, the very first day I played, there was that avatar ID bug where you can upload an avatar and they would give you a different avatar, someone else's that it's confusing your ID with. I actually met someone later on that had the problem where they have my avatar, little Yui, and she still has this avatar just like messed up with one of her own IDs. None of those bugs were ever fixed. It was just fixed going forward so the bug wouldn't happen again. Because of that, the avatar I took from the pedestal in Al's avatar corridor, that was there for months. And it's funny because at the time, people always had to clear their cache, their avatar cache, to stop the game from bugging out and freaking out. That's how the game was better in many ways, but it was worse. It was very unstable regarding your cache. And if you hadn't updated your cache at a certain point, you saw a different avatar from that pedestal. That pedestal, what you'd see instead, if you hadn't updated your cache like recently, cleared it out and let it repopulate itself, is you would see Winnie the fucking Pooh. So to anyone older that played that hadn't cleared their cache in the past few weeks from when I started playing, they were seeing me as Winnie the Pooh, not a fucking anime girl. And I didn't learn this for several days, and the encounter where I did was hilarious, but we'll get to that when we get to that. That's about all I can think of, though. That's how VRChat was back then. Those were my first days in VRChat. That was the start of the experience. Those are the people I met at the beginning. Going forward, probably going to talk about the next week or so in VRChat with the Halloween party. The introduction of what I can only refer to as VRChat villains. I mean, people that I met like Matt6, like Ritchie, Tenebris, etc., that became big stars of videos and, pulled the views and everybody learned their names, knew their names, things like that. The days I met Nags eventually and learned who the hell he was. The days we did stuff together and everything around it. That's what we're going to go into next. If you guys want to see more of this, tell me how you liking this, how you liking these videos. They entertaining to you? You want to see more of them? This is the last one I'm recording today, so let me know. What exactly do you want to hear about back then? Maybe out of the things that I mentioned, what do you want to hear about more? What do you want to hear about that I haven't mentioned? Think back to the older VRChat videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Give me any feedback you got, and have a good night. Or maybe I should have said good day, because this is going to upload at 8 a.m. in the morning. Have a good day.